Do you live in the US and want fast, fresh and tasty meals without the hassle of shopping or all that hard work preparation? Well, don't you worry, as a lazy man, I've got you covered. Try America's #1 meal kit service, HelloFresh, and get yourself fresh, pre-portioned ingredients delivered direct to your door. So why not eat well, stay healthy, and avoid the cost of regular takeout by trying HelloFresh? Just click the link in the description below for a special limited time discount and free shipping as well. Enjoy. Well, when you've had a mass exodus of first team players and you're running out of defenders, you're struggling to put a squad together, what do you want your director of football to do? That's right, sell another defender. We've got more players leaving the club, but it might all be forgiven because we've had a decent start to the season. And if he gets in the player he's negotiating with at the minute, I might have to say sorry. Yes, hello and welcome along to part 85 of the Head Coach with me, Daniel. We are back today for transfer deadline day after a trip to relegation contending Arsenal. In other news, it's been a very decent start for us despite losing another key defender at the expense of one of our relegation rivals. But there could be a gem coming in and it should be a busy deadline day. So if you're looking forward to seeing how we get on against injury hit Arsenal and of course what Dougie does in the final days of the window, then please do put a thumbs up on it. Let's go and have a look at the schedule to see what's been going on since you were last here. Because the news is, it's been pretty good. We've been much more aggressive this season. We've been able to get some goals on the counter. We've been a bit more front-footed. We've been a bit more aggressive. And Guy Vaknin is back in the goals. So you were with me as Spurs turned it around late on and nicked a victory on the opening day. Since then, we haven't lost, but defensively, we don't look great. And that's because we haven't really got any defenders. We drew 2-2 away at Wolves. Guy Vaknin got a late equaliser as we fell 2 down in the first half before Chris Lewis started the comeback. Against Fulham, we won 2-1 away from home. Again, we came from behind. This time, Jimmy Campbell got the equaliser. Guy Vaknin, the man with the winner. Against Newcastle, a 1-1 draw. Guess who equalised? Guy Vaknin again. And then against QPR, he got himself the equaliser before Rodrigo Ribeiro with a 90th minute winner off the bench. So we are looking all right at the minute. We're falling behind in games, which is a worry, but we're bouncing back and we've got quality going forward. Now, the 3 strikers probably are one of the highlights of the team. We're not keeping everyone fit and going forward, there's going to be some problems. We've got Arsenal today. Next month is crucial because we face Watford, we face Aston Villa and Luton Town, who should be the whipping boys of the division. And we've also had a little boost financially to help Dougie Freedman because I didn't realise when he scored that heartbreaking equaliser against us a little while ago that Henry Ocon of Watford was actually a Palace Youth Academy star, and he's gone to United for 92 million, and out of that Crystal Palace have made another 15 or so. If you have a look at his stats back here, I don't know what they were doing with him. They loaned him out for 3 years and then sold him immediately. He is a superstar player. You have a look at his stats here, he is world class, he's one of the best players in the world. He's now a regular at United. So we've made a bit of money out of that. It means the transfer budget is 65 million, 400 grand on the wage bill. But there's still very little precious transfer work being done and certainly nothing in terms of defenders in. There's one left winger potentially joining and a right winger too. We'll meet them in a minute because they are superstars if they agree to join. But let me first show you the history because we have lost another player. Another youngster came in as well. But the player out is Chris Richards. 8 million quid to Leeds, our relegation rivals. And I'm not sure we could afford to lose him. For the sake of getting a few million with 1 year left on his contract, a player that's played over 360 league games for the club, it does seem a little bit nonsensical. I mean, we've still not got an actual left back at the club, and we've lost now one of the 2 that could play there. And we've lost a centre-half that would have been starting. So it's a little bit of a tricky situation. But he's left the club, more money in, no more players joining in his place. If we have a look at the transfer centre though, there are 2 potential big deals getting done. If he pulls off this one though, Christian Spasov from Levski Sofia, we might forgive him. 5.75 million is the fees paying. He is a left winger, a wonder kid, sensational on the ball, fantastic physically, good mentally. I mean, he is a super player. He is Jimmy Campbell's replacement in the long run. Would need a bit of training in the position, would of course need a little bit of work and time to adapt. He's a gem, so I hope he gets that one done. The other one that's being discussed is Ben Hames from Sheffield United. That is because Finn Werner rejected us. That would have been a loan deal, a good determined player. But Ben Hames is probably better at 22. From Sheffield United for 28 million quid. And he's a very good player. Good personality, sensational physically, and got all the key technical stuff, as well as being able to play centre mid. So a player I'd be really happy to have. If both of them join, we should still have 30 million left to get a couple of defenders. I'm a bit worried that Dougie's not shown any sign of getting one. Now, we have got Clementson coming back from injury. He should be back after the international break and not much longer. But we've not got anyone who can play on the left, and that has to be addressed. As centre-half now, because of those, Kasani is basically first backup. We've got Rodolfo and Tapsoba, the new signing. We've got Rodriguez as a right-back, and we've got Couto, who wants to leave the club, and we've got an agreement that it'll be sold for about 2 million. So we are very, very short in that area. There's not much talent behind it in the youth team. It could be a real problem for us. We'll wait and see if it is or not. For now, we're going to go and get through the first game today, a big one against Arsenal. For Arsenal, the reason they're struggling is they've just not regenerated the side. We've mentioned it before in this save. There are some clubs that brilliantly do it. They keep bringing in younger players. They keep adapting. For Arsenal, they haven't. They've still got Saka injured. They've got Smith Rowe, Jesus, Odegaard. They've got Todibo, who they bought in early in the save, Saliba and Tomiyasu in the back four. Albeit they're all very good players, they're now all the wrong side of 30. So Arsenal are going to need to adapt soon, and they're not doing it quick enough. For us, this is the 11 we're going for. We did have to go stronger than we like in the week because we didn't have a backup defence, and Zalewski is struggling for fitness here, but I have literally no other option. And this is the 11 that we're going for in full. It is Jankovic in goal, Rodriguez and Zalewski the fullbacks with Rodolfo and Tapsoba as centre-half. Rombach had a rest in midweek, he's back on the right wing with Campbell in again on the left, and then Rothwell and Castro the centre mids. Ribeiro and Vaknin both in good goal scoring form up front. Let's go and get into it today though. It's Arsenal v Palace. They've had a shocking start to the season, but on paper, they're still a better side. Well, actually, I'm just looking at their squad today. They've got a very young bench, so I wonder if maybe that regeneration has started the last summer or so, because Ivic has come in and they are building a younger squad, but it's not made it through to the first 11 yet. We've got our strikers motivated, our goalkeeper in form. Let's hope that's enough to get a result. To the Emirates we go against Arsenal. They've not won a game yet this season. We want to keep that the same today. And here we are early doors with a Zalewski free kick. Thuram heads it away as far as Rothwell. Wouldn't mind a fast start here. It goes back to Rodriguez. Chipped over the top towards Campbell. We've been so much more threatening going forward, but at the other end, again, there have been problems. And this side still got quality in attack. And of course, we always fall behind, don't we? As Tomiyasu gets down the right. It's not normally quite this early, but the ball's into the box. Rodolfo does well. Chips it out to Campbell. You can see we're creating a bit more of a chaotic, physical, end-to-end match. And maybe against this side, we'll have the advantage as it's down for Guy Vaknin. He was just offside and he put it just wide. A great link up from the front too. 10 minutes gone, not the best start in the world. But overall, Crystal Palace just edging it. Rodriguez has got a throw at right back here. Nearly 15 on the clock. We're still in it. We're still looking good as Ribeiro loses out on the ball. Finds Lindoso. Here's Odegaard to Thuram. Good stuff from Arsenal. Lindoso has two in support. Goes wide to his left back. Keeps it down the left wing. There's three in the middle. Chance to cross. Smith throws up. Headers over the bar. Stays goalless with a quarter of an hour gone. That's the first big chance for Arsenal. Well, we're back again looking at the game with 10 minutes to half time, and it's been alright so far. I know that Arsenal have definitely carried more of a threat, but they've not been dominant by any means, although here they come down the left-hand side. Corinaldi the fullback, back to Saliba, and here's Smith Rowe to Danilo. Big switch of play, and they've got a man over here. Campbell switches off, he's a bit slow getting back, and it's cost us because Tomiyasu puts it in. Jesus gets on the end of it, just pips Rodolfo to the ball. And there you go. It's the extra bit of mental strength. It's the extra anticipation. And it's 1-0 to the Arsenal. They probably deserve it on the balance, but we're in this game. They're certainly not out of it. We are used to having poor first half performances. And if we can keep it a 1 at half time with that free kick going over, I fancy us to do something in the second half. It's still been a pretty good display, and it's been an okay start to the season. We've got Rodolfo looking nervous because he made that mistake for the goal. Let's just say you can turn it around. I've got faith in you. We're going to try and push for the first 10 minutes of the second half. We might drop to balanced if we need to because Arsenal are still on top. As Odegaard puts the corner in, will it be too late? picks it up again, back to the edge, falls for Smith Rowe with time to shoot, goes wide. He's got a chance to cross still though. 3 on the edge, Thuram's in. Is that a penalty? No, it's not. It's deflected for a corner. Arsenal keep the pressure on. It's a bit of an onslaught. We might just need to drop off for 10 minutes here because we are getting caught out as Ødegaard. Into Saliba, hits the woodwork. We're getting away with another one. Thuram cuts it back. Nicked on the edge of the box to Tomiyasu. He finds Danilo and he's forced backwards. Hopefully this will peter out. It does, but it is all Arsenal at the minute. So I'm going to drop to balance. We're just going to hold off. You can see physically we're starting to struggle now. And this is the problem. Because we don't have players in positions to rotate for the cups, we're not able to freshen up the squad as much. It does hold us back in games like this, as Lindoso into Smith Rowe. Rodriguez challenges Port. Jesus deflects to the keeper. And I feel at this point, we might have to prioritise fresh legs. With 20 to go, we're not able to get on the front foot. And you have to say, Arsenal looks so superior physically. So we're going to go back to positive, but we're going to make the subs. Off will come Rodriguez at right back for Pulido. Zalewski at left back, I can't do anything with. In midfield, we're going to take Grom back off because he's had a poor game. Couto on for him. Gerardo on for Castro, and he'll switch sides with Rothwell. I'm also going to go Lewis for Vaknin, who physically, again, is not at the peak of his powers. We'll keep them, I think, that way round. And then Jimmy Campbell off for Mitran on the left. Traditional winger on support. And that might be enough for us now. We've got a bit of a deficit at left back physically, but everywhere else we're all right. So let's encourage these boys. Let's get them on the front foot and see if we can nick a point, because we've had a goal threat for most games this season. But in this game, we've looked well and truly outplayed. Arsenal, those younger subs now getting a chance to come on, freshen up the legs. They do all right. But we're into 5 minutes of stoppage time and they're down to 10 due to Tomiyasu's injury. And Ribeiro, it's a great chance with his head at the back post, just over the bar. That should have been the one. Instead, it's going to be a 1-0 defeat. Mitran's picked up a knock. Look, away to Arsenal is not a disastrous result by any means, but it does mean 5 points from 5 games. And we just need some help. The squad's not big enough and good enough. You look at the bench now, players like Kasani and Hollis and Keating, I don't really want to have to bring on at Premier League level. Couto's checked out at a club already. It doesn't leave us with a big enough squad to compete. We had to play most of that 11 in the cup and it's cost us today. So let's get through the deadline day. 2 players being negotiated. Any more going to join after? We'll join Dougie on deadline day to find out. Well, we're back the day before deadline day, in fact, and I'm running out of words here because it's another defender out. And on paper, it's not the worst one in the world if we get replacements, but there's no sign of defenders coming in. So Luca Cassani, 5.75 million to Young Boys of Switzerland. He's a defender who can't really tackle, and he's not my type of player as such, but is another player out. I think we're officially down to 5 defenders now, and one of those is Couto, who wants to leave. So this is going to be a very tricky deadline day. It's 1,000% profit. It's excellent work from Dougie, but you've got to have players coming in because at the moment we don't have a defence, and that is a real problem. Well, here we go. It's transfer deadline day at Crystal Palace. The club is rich now because it sold basically all of its assets. Are we going to get someone in today? Because we need a left back. We need players, and there's no sign of it at the minute. We've had no news whatsoever on the 2 negotiating deals, and we haven't got a left back, but we are linked in the media with a return for Tyrick Mitchell, who is 33, is transfer listed by Spurs. Oh, it would be such a head coach signing, wouldn't it? I mean, for this year, he'll do a job. I won't complain, to be honest, compared to normal. But it's not the ideal signing, is it? We're looking at players going out. If Rodrigo Ribeiro leaves, we might be in more trouble. Oh, this could be a long day. Let's go and get through it. 15 hours to go. But Rodrigo Ribeiro must stay. Well, 1 hour gone in this crucial day as Jimmy Campbell comes 3rd in Young Player of the Month, despite not even having an average rating of 7. But there's an offer. You can see it on the screen there. I've not clicked on it yet. Please let it be a first team level player and then let it be a left back. João Batista, he is a fullback, 3-star ability, can cover right or left back for 110 grand and then an overall of 5.75 million. What do you like? You're a right back more than you are a left back, but that's not that important at this point. He's okay. He's not a superstar. Clemenson's injured for another month yet, so it does help there. But he's all right. And you know what? At this point, we just need people who can play there. I'm not going to complain. Let's try and get this deal done. I'm a bit surprised he's going for so many cheap deals and loan deals this year because We've got loads of money in the club now. I'm not quite sure where that directive's coming from, but if we get a player, then great. Not the answer we wanted, but we'll see what happens. 14 hours left. Well, it's finally happened. We have got a player in permanently for the first time in about a month, and it is Hames, the right winger from Sheffield United. 22.5 million, another 6 million when he plays his share of games, and he is a very good footballer. Happy to have him at the club. He is the best right winger now by a country mile, and he'll gradually take Grombach's place this season. Really good to have someone who's actually ready at Premier League level, so we'll get him registered in the squad. Should be homegrown in the nation, I would imagine, as well. He is. So a really good start to the day. But there is the next problem, almost immediately after. Let's get Hames training as a traditional right winger, get him ready for the way we play. But João Batista has rejected us to go to Stade de Reims on loan. So we've still got no defenders in, we've still got none being negotiated, and we're no closer to knowing about that Bulgarian winger. Well, not even an hour later, we are joined by one of the steals of the summer, no doubt about that. 5.75 million for Bulgarian wonder kid Spazov. He is sensational. 4-star ability. He's going to have to train to play deeper with us because he's not the best defensively. He's not natural on the left of a 4, but he is a super pro and he'll get used to it quickly. So inverted winger on support will train him as. The wings now are midfield, looking very deep, very excellent. We'll get him training a new language. We'll get him working with Polido. But we need defenders. Dougie, you've got 11 hours left. You have got 36 million, over 350 grand a week of wage budget. Will you please go and get me a left back and another good defender? Dougie, I think you might have missed the memo. I said defenders, not goalkeepers. We're now looking at a backup keeper from Norwich who's 2-star ability, and he's better than Higgins. He's okay, no problem with that. But I need defenders. There's 10 hours left. You can't afford to mess around with me here. How close were you? Did we not get him? What's gone wrong with that? Oh, the deal's not being discussed now for some reason. So I don't really know what that was, but no news to say why it hasn't happened. I just need defenders, Dougie. Please, ignore the keeper for now. Can I make sure you heard that? Defenders. Well, he heard me this time, and it is the man, I think for the first time, that was mentioned on that rumour mill at the start of the day, and there's actually been an offer for them. It's normally miles off. Tyrick Mitchell at 33, an offer accepted from us and Napoli, which could be a problem. 5 million quid, he's accepted both of them. We just have to hope he wants to come back, because Napoli is probably the bigger draw. They're a club that rejected us in the summer for not having a big enough reputation. So I'm guessing based on that theirs is bigger than Crystal Palace's. We'll see later in the day if he wants to stay in London, but that would at least sort us out for this season. It's not going to fix all of our problems in the long term, but it helps us be competitive. Fingers crossed. Well, it turns out Tyrick Mitchell did want to stay in London and did want to come back to Crystal Palace. It is not a great deal for the football club because it's a 2-year contract and he won't make money out of it at the end, but he has rejected Napoli to come here. And at last, we have a left back. 3.5-star ability. At the moment, he is still very good. He's homegrown in the nation. Polido's going to welcome him. He's registered in the squad. And crucially, we have a left defender for this season. That is the only thing that matters. Now we've got 8 hours remaining. There's still money in the club. Can he get anyone else? Or is that going to be it? We're back with 6 hours to go. And after 3 hours of next to nothing happening, a little lull in a day, we are back with a string of messages that could be very good or extremely concerning. We start with Graham Hollis, who's had a loan offer accepted. No problem, now we've got the other right winger in. If we get him off the wage bill, that's fantastic news. There is a loan deal offer going in for Kerim Kawanoglu. How good are you and where do you play? He is a fullback at 30. So left back primarily. He can play left back, right back, left midfield and at a push centre half. He's better at left back than Zalewski, let's put it that way. So I would be happy to get him into the club on loan from Lyon. There was a youngster potentially going to Sunderland, but no, that's been rejected again. This is the big one. Monaco mate Jankovic offer. We've got no other keepers if he's accepted this. Oh my God, he's accepted it. Look at the price as well. £5 million. We've got no senior goalkeepers if he goes. This happened to us last year at Sheffield Wednesday, didn't it? He's 24. How much did he sign him for? 2.5 million. Oh, that's ridiculous. Why would you sell the only goalkeeper at the club? And then you'd have to reintegrate a new one. Julien's going out on loan. Oh, it's going to be an absolute catastrophe. 6 hours to go and an offer has been accepted for our only senior keeper. Please give me strength, Dougie. I've sung your praises for a year and you've gone and done this. This could just round off the worst summer we've ever had. Right, there is an awful lot for us to get through here with 4 hours to go. Hollis is going out on loan to Sheffield United. He'll basically replace Hames, who we signed from them. We've got the other fullback on loan from Leon, which is good. Gives us a bit of depth there. I'm happy with that. Here it is then. Still 4 hours remaining. Jankovic has left the club. The young centre-half went as well. But as it stands, we have no goalkeepers. Let me show you the squad planner actually at the minute. Because Troy Higgins is the best, and then his backup in the under-23s is that guy. This is mind-blowing for Premier League level. 4 hours, Dougie Freedman, you better get me a Premier League goalkeeper. I don't know whether to be excited, disappointed, or something else here, because I can see straight away that an offer's gone in to loan a goalkeeper from Bournemouth, Inaki Montero. I can also see that he's on 44 grand a week, but he's only worth 220 grand, so how good can he really be? Good enough at this point, to be honest. He's not a great goalkeeper, nowhere near as good as Jankovic, but he'll do a job. He's championship level, and that's far better than what we've got. Let's see if we get it done, because it's desperately needed. I don't think he's actually played a game since being here. They only just signed him for 200 grand. Has played in, the youth leagues over in Spain. Has played in the B leagues. He's not played senior football at all. This is going to be tricky, isn't it? 3 hours remaining and Inaki Montero has joined the club. He is not great by any means. He should be a fringe player, as is rightly pointed out in a coach report, but he is now the #1 goalkeeper, and at least he is a good goalkeeper, albeit is far weaker than what we had. Well, we're back with 1 hour to go, and I think it's definitely it. There was an offer in from Dougie Freedman, which was accepted for a player, but that player has rejected us. So let's have a look at who it was. It was a centre-half from Uganda, and he could have played anywhere across the back four. It was a good footballer, 5'8" and can't jump, which is a bit weird. But it doesn't come off anyway, so it doesn't matter. Well, this is a baffling way to finish, isn't it? I'm not sure if it will get done now because there's only half an hour left. But 15 million being splurged on a poacher from Toulouse in France. Joris Mancon is the man. 15.5 up front, rising to 20. Will we be able to get it done? We'll keep all our options open. Regular starter is suggested. He's not bad. He's not the quickest, but he is a bit of a poacher. And with Ribeiro not going, it gives us 4 very good strikers at the club, but not at all what we needed, considering no centre-half has come in. Work permit decision, will it get done in time? Yes, it will. We get a last grasp signing in with 20 minutes of the window remaining. He's a 3-star ability striker with 3.5 potential, and not at all what we needed to get. Confirm the selection as deadline day passes. What a bizarre day that was. We'll go and reflect on it in a minute. In truth, it's been a mass exodus of stars. It's been a huge profit-making regime for Crystal Palace, and the board have left us in a tough position. 4th lowest wage budget in the league, 32 players out, which is the most in the division. And if we have a look at the day, half of the budget got left unspent, but we are in an okay position, and the squad might be able to compete. So let's go and have a look at the schedule for a minute's going to be back. And again, we're going to focus on those games against sides in and around us. We'll get through all of the top sides and hopefully we will get a win at home to Luton Town as needed. But that is where we stand at the moment. Let me know what you think of one of the most chaotic deadline days we've had in this head coach series down below. If you did enjoy the episode, a good effort at Arsenal but not quite enough to get the result, and please do put a thumbs up on it. Have we got enough to stay up, having lost Esnal and now Jankovic as well? Or is it going to be a tricky season? More importantly, how do we integrate so many new players when the season's already begun? If you're looking forward to finding out and seeing how we fare, then subscribe and turn that notification bell on. We'll be back with this one in a couple of days' time to find out, but in the meantime, we'll have our Build a Nation save tomorrow. You can find the season so far in the eye above, alongside the Twitch channel, the football podcast, and the blog story too. And of course, more importantly than all of that, I'll see you back here in a couple of days' time to see how our new signings are faring at Palace.